Hello, and welcome again to the 2012fad.com. I will be your host for this evening, and my name is Charlie Bluehawk. Last night we talked about this is not a test, and how it does not matter what the world really is in the end. This is our life today. We're here, and we need to know why we're here, who we can love, and who can love us. Because no matter what this is, where you and I are, whether this is the real world or a computer-generated learning program, we're here now. And we really need a reason to live. Just to live is not reason enough, at least not for me and hopefully not for you. So tonight I thought we might chat about unless we agree. What no one today seems to understand in the West, and this includes you and me, really, is that everything that our masters do to us, they have our permission. Our masters, as worshippers of Satan, whether Satan exists or not, that's not important. They believe she does. Our masters worship Satan. And because of that, they're bound to certain religious beliefs. Religious beliefs that, in their minds, are binding because of their black magic rituals. In black magic, everything is written down. Everything's a formula. Everything. And it must be performed in a certain way to achieve a certain result. If you vary from that, the ritual is broken. Everything, it's like a house of cards. Everything collapses. So now in black magic, in Satan worship, you must get your victims to agree in advance and in writing before you can harm them. In other words, Satan must have your permission before she can hurt you, and it must be in writing. And so you're thinking, well, I never agreed to anything that our masters are doing to us today. Actually, yes, you did. You see, in Western law, British maritime law, silence is acceptance. What this means is our masters always tell us in advance, in writing, what they're going to do to us. It's part of their religion. It's the basis of their religion. And we must agree in advance to everything that they're going to do to us, or they cannot proceed. They can't. In their religion, they can't. Before they harm us, we must agree. So, when you elect a servant of the masters, you're voting in favor of Satan. Whether Satan is real or not, you're voting for her. So when you vote into law an action that supports what our masters can do to us, arrest without warrant, search and seizure without warrant, detention without representation, coffin ships that sail international waters and torture prisoners stolen off the streets of foreign countries, the Patriot Act, you have voted in, and you have agreed that Satan or her servants, our masters, in her name can do these things to us, to all of us. The spoken word has power. The written word has infinite power. And under British maritime law in the United States, there are now so many laws, you can pick and choose the ones you like, and you can get away with, well, murder. There are so many laws on the books today that some say, yes, you can. Others say, no, you can't. And it's all about the same topic. You just need to know where to look. And where you look, your local university law library. But since not one of us has set foot inside of a university law library, the truth is forever closed to us, and our masters win. So why do our masters hold us in such contempt? Why do our masters ignore us when we yell and scream and say, stop that, that's not fair? Why? Because we've already agreed to let our masters do anything they want to us. How? They passed laws that we voted in. They ran their candidates, we voted for them. They post notices in the New York Times. And just as the law says they must, And in those notices, they tell us everything they're going to do to us. And we ignore them. Silence is acceptance. What that means is, for example, someone prints in the local newspaper that you are a tomato. You don't argue. You don't file a rebuttal. You just ignore it. Which means under the laws of the United States, under Western law, under British maritime law, under satanic law, you are a tomato. Silence is acceptance. And so when our masters treat us with contempt, they have every right to. Why? Because we've already given them complete control over us. Our masters did not steal anything from us. We gave it away of our own free will. Free will. It's the cornerstone of good and evil. It's up to each of us to decide. Of our own free will, we have given control of our lives to our masters. They stole nothing. We gave it all away of our own free will. What can be done at this point in time? Nothing. Personally, I filed a bond with the IRS, which is, of course, a privately owned offshore corporation based in Puerto Rico. If you like, send me a notice, and I will put the address up online for you. You can write them yourselves. Or with a little digging, go online, find it yourself. You don't need me for this. Anyway, my attorney filed a bond with the IRS and a statement declaring my sovereignty over myself. Completely legal under British maritime law, under satanic law, and the IRS, a servant of Satan, and therefore must obey the law, accepted it. And they've never bothered me since. Because my attorney knew the law, and she acted on my behalf and on the behalf of many, many people, and freed us from slavery. It destroyed her law practice. The IRS, hates to be caught, but she did free us. For you, well, I actually think there is a possibility. When those Republican state senators in Wisconsin pushed through those illegal bills against collective bargaining, outlawing unions, they broke the law. They broke the same law that made them Republican state senators. You see, when you break one law, you break all laws. When you invalidate one law, you invalidate all laws. They broke their covenant with their own God, which in my mind means all bets are off. All contracts are canceled. We no longer belong to Satan. Whether she exists or not, our masters believe she does. But we no longer belong to her. Now I'll take that a step further. Now I knew about the HARP attack, the earthquake attack on the Japanese nuclear reactor a year ago. Today is March 18th, 2011. And at the time, the Japanese government folded. They gave control of the Japanese economy over to Western bankers, to our masters, to Satan. The Japanese surrendered. And I'm guessing that somewhere it's in writing, because under satanic law, it must be in writing. But then this year, our masters attacked Japan again. They attacked their own prisoner. They attacked their own property. They broke the surrender agreement. They broke the law. And in breaking the law, they again broke the covenant with their own God. And I'm just guessing at this point, but what I know about law, about God, about Satan, it sort of kind of fits together. So from my point of view, for what it's worth, we've all been freed. We are no longer the property of our masters because they themselves have freed us. With their own mindless, senseless cruelty, their own gibbering madness, their own greed to hurt us, they've actually freed us. Interesting, isn't it? Now, I wonder what their God will do when she discovers that her servants have failed to deliver the earth over to her. I think I'll pass on seeing that one. I think if Satan is real and she shows up and her folks report this to her, I think you and I need to be elsewhere at that moment. I think the only thing that we can do is run for the hills. Me, I'm heading to the village. I'm hiding. I suggest for you a nice quiet spot somewhere under the earth. Roll a rug over your head and pray. And good luck to us all on that day. For all of us here at the 2012fad.com, this is Charlie Bluehawk. Wishing you a really good day. And reminding you, please keep that one good thought. The 2012 Fad is brought to you by Coffee and Blood, Love Letters Between the Dead, a series of 5 erotica horror novels about a fallen angel fighting his way back to regain his own soul, and how the CIA war against the human race, their black magic, captures and traps him in the body of a mind-controlled slave designed to hunt down and to kill their god, their Satan.